get going? Can we get going? Can we get going? Okay, finally, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. Okay, so big talk coming out on tonight's show. We want to get talking first and foremost Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, two players who could be leaving Manchester United in the very, very near future. And this is something we've been looking for a long time, guys. It really is. And look, I know McTominay isn't the most popular. I know that Maguire's not the most popular, but a double bid from West Ham really helps Manchester United out. It really does, because neither of these two players are good enough. Let's be honest with ourselves here. And so, yeah, look, plenty and plenty to go through on tonight's show. So let's get everything started. Let's kick off with the Harry Maguire one, because that's the big story tonight. So, coming in from Jacob Steinberg, West Ham United have bid £30 million for Harry Maguire. Absolutely fantastic news if true. Absolutely unbelievable, because I didn't think we were going to get this guy sold. I really didn't. And I hope United accept it. I really do. I hope we don't try burst of luck here. I hope we do not try to push for more. Just take the £30 million and run. Just run with it, honestly. And then it comes down to whether Maguire wants to go. And if Maguire does not leave, after everything that's happened to this guy in the past 18 months, I don't know. I genuinely would despair if he does not leave Manchester United Football Club. It really is that simple. Ashid, good evening to you. Stephanie down in the comments. Thanks for joining in, guys. We did have some problems. I think the stream was froze. It was like me sitting down and it was just froze. But it's good to see everyone back. So I'm asking you guys on the poll tonight, who is more important to sell? Who are you selling if you have a choice? Is it Maguire or is it McTominay? Let me know why down below. Get those votes in. But this is absolutely massive news for Manchester United. Charlie, good to see you, man. Big shout out to yourself. Shout out to your dad. You want to shout out for your dad? Big ups to Charlie's dad as well. I hope that he's doing okay, and I hope that he recovers and is feeling better very soon. I hope all the best. Absolutely all the best to yourself. Stephanie says, ideally sell both 70 million combined with Maguire's salary, another 30 million plus 10 years to 100 million pounds. In fact, shake hands very quickly. Absolutely. And if he needs to lift to the airport, I'm sure there's plenty of people here who would drive him probably down to London themselves. So coming in for McTominay as well. So first and foremost, this is looking good. So West Ham have made a joint bid for Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay worth more than £50 million. That has to be accepted. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not taking... And I know we could get more. Like, I know we can. But I want us to take this. I want us to take that money, run with it, shake hands as quickly as possible, because it's... The wages of these guys is ludicrous. The prices of these guys is ludicrous. We need to move them on. We seriously need to move both these players on. And it's going to be so much better for Manchester United. And look, it's a messy situation. I was at the match yesterday. It was okay. I mean, it was basically the reserve team, but it's still United. I still enjoyed the match. But even in Dublin, Harry Maguire was booed after that initial mistake that he made in the first goal. And look, that is something that's happened in the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of months. Maguire has been booed by his own fans. Surely this guy has to go. Like, he needs to have some self-respect. He needs to say, I deserve better at the very least. And hopefully he moves on. That's what he has to do, in my opinion. And I think selling McTominay, selling Maguire, it's going to be absolutely massive for Manchester United. And the reason why it's massive, guys, is what it allows us to do. We sell McTominay, we buy Amrabat. We sell Maguire, we buy Tobido. And those are two players come in, make this team better, make the squad better, and that is what Manchester United need more than anything else. It cannot be a case that we're looking and saying, oh, McTominay, he's a young player, guy's 26. Can't be looking at Maguire saying, yeah, £80 million record signing. Nah. Just get him sold. Get him sold. That's what United have to do. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We are up to 7 likes. Big ups as well. We did have a stream going. It did not work. And we are back with attempt 2. And everything seems to be going good enough today. So coming in from Alex Crook. And this is what I am afraid of, guys. This is what I'm scared of. There is no clear indication from Harry Maguire that he would actually want to leave Manchester United Football Club. That's a concern. That is a big concern, guys. And I can say this from the bottom of my heart. The guy needs to go. He needs to realize that he needs to go. He needs to move on as soon as possible. He seriously does. If he thinks he is getting back into this team, it is not happening. Maybe United accepting a bid would be the final nail in the coffin. Maybe that's the wake-up call it takes for him to go out, smell the coffee, and realise that he isn't even wanted at this club. I don't know. Like, I seriously don't. I've always had my suspicions. I've always had my beliefs that Maguire's staying depends solely on his England spot. But I think he has to go. I seriously do. Stephanie says Ten Hag needs to force him out now. I would agree with that. I don't know really what else the guy can do to really force out Harry Maguire. Like, he's took the captaincy off him, he's dropped him, he's signed Johnny Evans and is threatening to play Evans ahead of Maguire. And by the way, Johnny Evans was better than Harry Maguire in that match yesterday. I watched it with my own eyes. He was good, to be fair, to Johnny, but it's the same story, guys. This guy needs to be pushed out of the club. If he's not going to go, he needs to be pushed out somehow. He really does. And it's disappointing. It really is. We didn't want it to go this way. But Manchester United shouldn't be forced to hold on to a player against our own wishes. Like, we really shouldn't. We should be able to move Harry Maguire on. We should be accepting £30 million from West Ham. That is a good one. Stephanie says drop him from the bench next. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, unless United put him training with the 21s, that's about as much as we can physically do. It really is. Whether that's going to be enough, I don't know. Like, I seriously don't know. There's a part of me thinks it might not be. There's a part of me fears it will not be enough. And that's my big worry, guys. It really, really is. So, coming in from Simon Stone, so further update on why all this is going down. So, West Ham are keen on Manchester United pair Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. There is far greater push and momentum behind their recruitment drive after a 4-0 loss on Saturday. So West Ham, it's being reactive. They've signed Edson Alvarez. Let's hope Scott McTominay gets added to that list. And look, I would say this as well. I think in terms of what I've asked you guys on the poll tonight, I think Harry Maguire is a more important player to sell. I do. I think we're going to sell other midfielders. I think Donny's going to go. I think Fred's going to go. I think we might see, of course we might see McTominay go, but look, those two players, Van De Beek and Fred, they're almost guaranteed to leave United at this point. So hopefully, even if we don't sell McTominay, that United can go out and buy ourselves Stefan Amrabat. Because that's going to be the big difference. That is what we need. It's one thing selling these players because they need sold, but if we can sell players, bring somebody in to upgrade and replace them, that's even better for Manchester United. So coming in, Jacob Steinberg, West Ham working to find a solution around Harry Maguire's wages. This is the big hold up, guys. It really is. And believe a package of 55 million to 60 million pound could convince Manchester United to sell him and McTominay. So that's a big one, guys. That is a big one. And I think it's something we've known for a long time. The Maguire wages are a big issue in this deal. Satwant is saying Glazers out. Absolutely, man. Stephanie saying Maguire unsettles the whole team. It doesn't look confident. United do not look confident with Harry Maguire on the pitch. And we haven't for a very long time. And I do agree with you, Stephanie. I think it's absolutely an issue. It's an unsettling issue. And when you look at the difference between Rafael Varane, Sandro Martinez compared to Harry Maguire, there is no comparison. There really isn't. Who have we got? Greg is saying if Maguire doesn't make the move, he severely lacks ambition. That's the problem with throwing big wages about certain players can get comfortable and do not care about playing as much. Jared is saying, I don't know, guys. Maguire ran over an Arsenal player. I'm not so sure he wants to the bulldozer leave. And Hot Fuzz, good to see a man, is saying smash up the likes. Yes, guys, drop a like on the video up to 14 likes. Big ups to you guys, of course. So I like what Greg's saying here. I think this is an interesting point. The United wage system, it has really bred a culture of comfort, of complacency, of not worrying, because these guys know they're going to get paid £500,000 a month, £1 million a month, whether they kick a ball or not. I think one of the big things, and I will say this, a lot of the players we have signed in recent years have been happy to be there. They've looked at getting to Manchester United as the pinnacle of their career. It's not. United, yes, going to United is great, but when you get there, the hunger still has to be there. You have to work even harder than you did to get there in the first place, because United is not the summit of football. Winning trophies at United, that has to be the summit. That has to be what we are looking for in this team, and we want people coming in who want to win. Thankfully, Erik Ten Hag does seem to have bucked that trend a little bit, bringing the players in. Casemiro, this guy only cares about winning trophies is absolutely massive to Casemiro. Like, he was as happy with winning the Carabao Cup as he would have been winning a Europa League last season. That's the difference we need. That is the type of player, the type of mentality. We get it from Onana, we can see in his interviews. Mount has won a lot of stuff in football for a young guy. Højlund is very ambitious. Martinez, absolute warrior, has one thing. So I like what Ten Hag's doing. I think a lot of the players brought in before are happy to be there. They're, oh, look at me, I'm a Man United, this is great. No, that's not the attitude needed. It has to be, I'm a Man United, what next? That has to be what they're going to be asking. Ashid saying, can't seem to find Hot Fuzz 44 on YouTube. If you just click on his account, you will find it as well. For anyone who doesn't know, Hot Fuzz does run his own channel as well, so big ups to him, man. And go check him out. Jeremy says, it's a critical timing transfer window for the parties. West Ham have the cash from Rice. Maguire can retain the England spot with the move. McTominay is not getting younger, and United need Amrabat. Yeah, absolutely. It's the thing is, and I will say this, it makes sense for everything. Everything's lining up. Whether it comes off, that's going to be the issue. It really is, because Maguire needs football. He needs to go. United need to get Maguire out to get Tobido in. We need to move McTominay on, and we want to bring Amrabat in. There's buyers, there's sellers. It comes down to the middlemen. The middlemen in this scenario, it's McTominay and Maguire themselves. They need to push for the moves. They need to check the options on the table. In terms of who's more important to sell, 97% of you guys are going for Harry Maguire. So big ups to you guys. It does look like Maguire is the clear favourite for you guys to be sold first. So let me just double check if there was anything else that I still want to go on here. Yes, we have one coming in here from Simon Jones. Now, this is in terms of incomings, and it can kind of show where we're looking, and it shows that we're definitely going to go for Stefan Amrabat. So, United were in for both Amadou Onana from Everton and Tyler Adams. We had preliminary talks, seemingly. We do want that sort of box-to-box, that sort of holding type midfielder. Come in, play alongside Casemiro. Stefan Amrabat is a better player than Onana and Tyler Adams put together, probably. Ashid says, if both of them want to play, they need to go elsewhere. That's what it comes down to. Do they want to play, or are they just happy being at Manchester United? Because there's a big difference. Manchester United need to have players who come to the club and say, yes, I'm here. What next? Time to win. That's what it's going to be about. Like, could you imagine if Roy Keane turned up at United and he was just happy to be there, saying, oh, I wasn't here, I would be relegated playing championship football with Forest. That wasn't the difference. He went and he said, I'm here, let's win trophies. That's what it's about, guys. It really is. So, Manchester United, discussions over Onana and Tyler Adams, but neither have progressed. It's clear and obvious. We're going for Stefan Amrabat. Everybody knows it. I don't have to tell you guys that's any sort of new information. What we do have, though, is a small update coming in from Alfredo Padilla in Italy. Now, people have their opinions on Padilla. He has been right this transfer window quite often, but he will also say things for the clicks. He will just bit things, and he does kind of act like a bit of an ITK on Twitter sometimes. But he does have sources, to be fair. So he has said Stefan Amrabat has rejected offers from West Ham United and Saudi Arabia. He wants to join Manchester United this week. The move is expected to advance. I think that's going to come with the sales of McTominay, potentially Fred, certainly Van De Beek, most likely. Those are three midfield sales that we could see. Jeremy says, to give credit to Maguire, I'd endure booze for 200,000 a week. Not a bad gig. Absolutely not, man. If people want to boo me for £200,000 a week, I will let it happen. 24 hours, I really don't care. I'll put the AirPods in, be like nothing's really happening. Brian is saying Martial. Yes, we do have an update on Anthony Martial as well. So West Ham United and David Moyes could be one of the biggest boosts to Manchester United this summer. David Moyes might find himself one of the most popular Man United managers for managing West Ham, because not only do they want McTominay, not only do they want Harry Maguire, they want Anthony Martial as well. So I don't know how I'd feel about this, guys. I mean, if it's true, if this is genuinely true, and they take Martial, Maguire, McTominay, I think we have to build Moyes a statue. Like, I really do. um, it's what United need to do. We need to move these players on. We seriously do. Getting anything at this point for Harry Maguire will be absolutely massive. Stefan is saying Qatar takeover November. Nothing too much on the takeover news-wise. If you guys are interested in the financials and stuff, some interesting trading on Manchester United today. Let's find out what happens on that one. Will says we could really be on the up if both McTominay and Maguire get out there. A waste of space and wages. Thank you very much for that one, Will. I would agree. I think it's one thing. I think United are past the point of needing to have players for the sake of bodies. I think Weghorst was someone who came in to be a body, just somebody to be there. I think Sabitzer, probably the same. I think United need more than that. We don't just need to be bringing people in just to have more numbers. We need to start upping the quality of this squad. That's what we seriously need to do. We need to trim the fat. We need to separate the wheat from the chaff. And we need to really, really start to level the squad up. And then, in my opinion, if we go out and buy ourselves a Sofyan Amrabat, all of a sudden the midfield options go from being Fred, McTominay, Donny Van De Beek, Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro last year, to having midfield options of Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Manu, Amrabat, and Eriksen as well. Christian Eriksen goes from being one of the more important midfield players to being arguably the worst. Arguably being the one with the least quality. That's what we call upgrades. That's what we call leveling the squad up. It isn't just about the first 11. It's about the entire team. If we want to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City, if we want to leapfrog Arsenal, we need a squad. And I think Erik Ten Hag will get there. I do. I really do. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We're up to 21 likes. Can we get up to 30? Stephanie says, take Henderson as well. I mean, yeah, I would... If anybody takes Dean Henderson, that could be brilliant. So in terms of goalkeepers, staying at Manchester United, Tom Heaton will be staying at United this season after talks with Erik Ten Hag. Looks like, in my opinion, we're not getting that backup goalkeeper. We're going to be going with Tom Heaton as number 2. I have no problem with it. I'm more interested in Andre Onana. I really am. Neri is saying, sell both. 60 million is way too much money to reject. Scott costs us 0. Yes, exactly. Youth academy player. It's nothing but profit. Apart from the wages, let's move him on. Maguire, absolutely. We need Maguire off the books, wage-wise. We need to get him out of the club. We cannot be paying a guy £200,000 per week not to play. And it was the exact same, say, when De Gea was going to be here. If De Gea stayed this season as a backup goalkeeper, we would be paying $200,000 a week for a guy to sit on the bench. Let's not be doing that. We've done this before. Let's not be doing it. Anthony says, Tyler Adams, I would take. I mean, yeah, I think he's quite good, but I think Sofyan Amrabat's going to be our guy. I cannot wait to see that man in the midfield. Will is saying opinions on Tobido. I like him. He's got years to develop. I like Tobido as well. I do like Tobido. I will say this about Tobido. Look, in terms of players we have, in terms of players we can sign this window, if we're looking centre backs, I think Tobido's a brilliant option. I really do. And he probably is the best we can get in this transfer window. Is Tobido going to have the ceiling as Antonio Silva, a Diamonde? Probably not, but needs must. I would not complain about Tobido. Very good on the ball, very athletic, and he's a good player. He is a very good player, good defender. Let's see where that one goes. Anthony says we need depth in that squad. We have a good first team, but the depth is what we lack. We are a big team. We should have 2 elite players per position. I agree completely. I think you can get away with goalkeeper. I don't think it's as important. So I wouldn't look at goalkeeper. I would question the right backs. I don't think either are at the level needed. I think Wan-Bissaka is better than Dalot, but I think we can still do better. I think centre backs, if we're looking Varane and Lindelof for the right centre backs, yeah, that's quite good. Left centre back, that's where the issue is. We got Leitch. We need another guy in there. Shaw and Malacia, those are 2 good left backs. Midfield, if we bring in Sofyan Amrabat and keep Casemiro, that's a really good midfield number 6 options. Then we've got Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Mount, Eriksen and Bruno. Those are all really good options. Forward line kind of picks itself. I think we're light in the striking position, only with Højlund. maybe this Sancho false nine thing, it's going to work in the league. Haven't really seen enough goals coming from that situation to really be worth it. Let me see. Anthony says, Tobido, absolutely elite and top class centre back. I think he's very good. I would definitely like to see him at Manchester United. Ronnie is down there. What is all this going about social media about a striker from Brazil costing the club 15 million? Haven't seen that one, Ronnie. I will. If you have a name, I'll check it out for you. Stephen saying, today I feel Qatari. Not saying too much on the takeover. Like I said earlier, the only real indication we have is some interesting stock market activity. A lot of shares being bought. So maybe they know that news is going to come out. Coming in from Laurie Whitwell 2 minutes ago. So this is brand new breaking news. West Ham have made a £60 million double bid for Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. The bid for Maguire, around 30 million, is close to getting to the figure that United would accept, and West Ham have been encouraged. Maguire is open to joining. So for you guys looking Harry Maguire out of this football club, there is some brilliant news on that one. Drop a like if you guys agree that we should be selling Maguire for 30 million, guys. That's good. That's some positive news that we needed. My big concern, looking at what Alex Crook was saying, looking at what others were saying, was will we be in a situation where Harry Maguire does not want to leave? Will he refuse to leave? If West Ham are feeling encouraged, that's nothing but good news for us, guys. Stephen saying Qataris will soon be the new owners of United. Not 100% on that one. We can see that down in the chat, guys. That is some good news, in my opinion. Drop a like, guys. We're up to 25. Can we get to 30? Would be much appreciated. In terms of the poll, 96% saying selling Maguire is more important than selling McTominay. I think the people have spoken. I think Maguire, part of me thinks it's a scapegoat thing. Part of me thinks he is disliked in this fan base. I just think it's time for him to go. I really do. Sheed says, yes, absolutely. Not saying anything on that thing you were saying there about Ronnie, a Brazilian striker, but for anyone just joining, I said a lot of people hopping in. £30 million bid for Maguire, getting close to the figure United would accept. West Ham have been encouraged that Maguire would be open to joining. That is good news for anybody who thinks Maguire should be sold. Stephen says we should sell Maguire, Van De Beek and Fred. We should not sell McTominay because McTominay is not on high wages. He can do a good job in cup games. It's a good point. It is a good point. I think in terms of the money we could make from selling Scott McTominay, though, I think it's maybe worth it. But certainly I think the Maguire wages are a big thing. I really do. Anthony's saying, looks like we'll be getting rid of a trio of McFred and Donny, and we should replace each of them with Amrabat, Tchouameni, Lavia, Tyler Adams, or Goretzka. That could be some serious midfield options. I'm picking Stefan Amrabat out of all those players. Irfan says Harry Maguire 30 million is too big. He will be a big flop. Go to Saudi. I don't care. Like, he can go to West Ham and flop if he wants. I'm not bothered. Benson has said Maguire should go for that amount of 30. Absolutely, we should be driving him to the airport for that amount, in my opinion. Stephen says no one needs to stress about the sale. It has gone through and Qatar has won. We will find out on that one. Will says, will not happen, but signing Amrabat and Lavia would be huge. It would be massive. It would be enormous for this football club. Absolutely perfect. We'll find out what happens. Looks like Liverpool are getting very close to signing Lavia. I mean, they went 35, they went 40, they went 45. Southampton won 50, so it's not a big increase in their bid. Will is saying, will not happen, but signing Amrabat and Lavia would be huge. Yes. Ronnie says, I'll fly from Belfast and help get Harry to London. Yeah, I mean, tell you what, Ronnie, we'll go over, we'll hire out a van, we'll move his stuff, we'll take the Stena line over from Belfast, and we'll help him move. I think that's a good one. The United is saying 30 million is a lot for Maguire, man. It is, but West Ham have bid it. It's not my issue. By all means, take it. Let me see. Maguire for Tobido, another striker. Yep, would love that as well, man. Need McTominay to go. He's taking up a developmental player spot. He is. I think Kobe Mainoo plays ahead of him when he's back. I do think that. Phil don't want to play so much for Lavia. They want to pull out. They might do. Anthony's asking, do you think United will accept the 60 million? I think there's a good chance of accepting the Maguire section of that bid. Let's hope we take both. I think that would be massive. We have said as well from Norrie Whitwell. So should Harry Maguire leave, Manchester United are thinking about offering Johnny Evans a full-time contract. Jean-Claude Tobido is also of interest. I would expect us to give Evans a contract anyway. I think that's the way it's shaping up. I would be surprised if we don't at this stage. He was only meant to play 2 matches in pre-season. He played 4. I think it's an option. Can we sign Amrabat and Goretzka? Maybe we can. Nero is saying self-read. Scott, Donny get in Amrabat. Hannibal should stay and get the minutes Scott would have got this season. Remember, we still have Man Utd coming back from injury. 30 million for Scott is fair. It's a good bid. It's a really good bid. I've said all summer I would take 20 to 25 for both players. So 60 million is really good. Ronnie says you're all... Cheers. Hey, cheers. How's it going, man? 30 million for Maguire is perfect, but transfer is dependent on player. I hope he agrees personal terms with West Ham. Absolutely, I agree with. I hope we get the personal terms agreed. I think that's what it's going to come down to. He has to take it. He does, and I think maybe a selling point for West Ham is Europa League football this year. Obviously, they won the Conference League last year. There could be potential for them to have a decent run in Europa League. Big ups for 30 likes on the video, guys. Can we hit 40 now? That's a challenge. Stephen is saying McTominay going to go to Roma. He might do, but I think he'd be safer going to West Ham. Nelbis, good to see you, man. We need to sign a good centre-back. What centre-back would you advise for a partner for Martinez and Varane? Good question. I think Tobido is the most realistic one. I think out of everybody we could sign, it's probably most likely. It depends where we want to play Lindelof. Lindelof can play left centre-back and right centre-back. They're 2 different positions, really. I think Tobido might be a really good option to come in. Young, got a lot of physicality, very good in the ball. Could be a really good option for us. And affordable. And affordable. That's key for this window. Irfan says United have to pay West Ham for Maguire. Anthony says, I also read that West Ham wants Martial. Yes, I did mention that earlier on the stream as well. I think it was about 10 minutes ago or so. So just for anyone who noticed, they've had loose talks for him apparently, but it's not quite 100% concrete interest yet. If they want to pay money for Anthony Martial, by all means take it. Fabrizio Romano says United and West Ham are in direct contract right now over Harry Maguire deal. £30 million has been sent. Clubs are discussing, no contact made on player side yet. West Ham feel encouraged and United know other clubs are interested in Maguire as well. Andrew says Lindelof, decent player, he looks bad with Harry. Yeah, it's the same with Fred. I think Fred always looked worse playing beside McTominay. I think Lindelof looks worse playing beside Maguire. You put Lindelof beside Lisandro Martinez, different player altogether. You put him beside Varane, different player. That's the difference here. Let me see, who is more important to sell? We've asked you guys on the poll, 73 votes, and 96% of you guys are going with Maguire. I think people look at the potential issues off the pitch. I think people look at the wages and the unsuitability. I would definitely be selling him on. Andrew says Evans is an old boy with trophies. He's welcome. Look, Johnny Evans comes in, doesn't play a lot of football, wouldn't be on a high wage. As an emergency backup, I'm not going to complain. It just says, looks like West Ham want all our players. I love Moyes. That's what I mean, man. If they sign Maguire, McTominay and Martial, do we get him a statue? Do we build a statue for Moyes? Maybe. In Moyes we trust. Absolutely. And Ashid says, bought a second half fridge for 40 pound last year. 2 years ago and still lasting. Yeah, I mean, Maguire's lasted a few years at United as well, man. Benson says, we need to get Amrabat. Should come after Maguire. United let us accept that bid. Let's hope we do. Let's hope we take those offers. It's really important. Vincent says, Moyes really loves us. And Anthony says, I think United should put West Ham to get more add-ons. I wouldn't push it too far, guys. I really wouldn't. I think just take the money at some point. I feel like we can push it more on the McTominay side. I think Maguire, we got to take that money. We got to run. We need to take it as soon as possible. That has to be United's plan. Needs to be United's plan. And if anybody disagrees, I don't know. I really don't. So update coming in from Ty Marshall. So Eric Bailly, Fred and Donny Van De Beek are all close to leaving Manchester United. Another good one. Another good one there. Look, these sales are picking up. I said last week we haven't seen enough sales across the board. We've only really sold Alanga and Tellez for money. We've let go of some young players. That's one thing. Moving these first team fringe players on, that's another one. If we sell Maguire, Martial, McTominay, Van De Beek, Fred and Eric Bailly, that's a lot of deadwood gone. I would definitely add Dean Henderson on that as well. Osman says less on Jermaine. Yusuf's looking to take the money and run. Irfan says I like Van der Ven centre back. No, I mean, I haven't really seen too much of him. Vincent says Moise is a tree red devil. Yeah, I mean, fair play to him. If he takes those one, absolutely. Andrew says bye bye the wood that can't grow. And Irfan wants per shares. Look, there's loads of options out there. There really is a lot of top centre backs. I would like United, if we don't go big this year, to go big next year on a young up and coming centre back like a Diamond or an Antonio Silva. But I do get it. Like, I do. If we sell Tobido, that's a really, really good signing. He's a really good player, really top level. Definitely will add a lot to this team. Let me see. We have an update coming in from Laurie Whitwell. 2 midfield sales would mean a formal approach from Manchester United from Sofian Amrabat to Fiorentina. So what Laurie Whitwell is saying, Manchester United are looking to sell 2 midfielders. Now, this seems quite big. This seems like a big ask, but I don't think it is. I really don't. Fred is 100% going, according to Fabrizio. Donny Van De Beek is close to leaving. So I think we sell both those players. I really do. And we sell McTominay. There's 3 gone. We'll definitely get Sofian Amrabat. Big ups as well, guys. 33 likes. Can we get to 40? That's my question for you guys. The United is asking, want Martial to leave, but I don't want West Ham to suffer the repercussions of he will bring West Ham, deserves better. I don't know. It depends on fitness. It really does. If he goes and stays fit, he might be good. I personally doubt it, because I just don't think Martial's ever going to get over the injuries. I really don't. Osman says Neymar to Chelsea. I haven't seen anything on that. Stephen is saying United should accept the bid immediately. Maguire should not be a United player by the time we play our first game next week. Exactly, guys. 1 week today, Manchester United's first game of the season. Let's see what's going to happen. This should be a big week for United. I'm expecting the sale of Maguire now. I'm really hoping it comes. The McTominay one's one to watch out for. I would expect Fred to leave. I expect Eric Bailly to go to Al Nassr, I believe. And I would think we'll see Donny Van De Beek leave as well. I think we'll move for Sofian Amrabat. We'll start discussions with Tobido. And we have the Mason Greenwood update coming this week. The announcement is meant to be made before next Monday. So it's going to be a big week for Manchester United. Make sure you guys are hitting that sub button. Stay tuned. Anything you guys do need to know about United will be on the channel live and direct every single day. So make sure to stay in for that. Irfan says Tobido flops in Barcelona. Don't think so, man. Will is saying we're all ready to drive Maguire and McTominay to West Ham. I'm really hoping it happens, guys. I really am, because this is what United's window is going to be based on. I think selling these players is going to be massive. Stephanie says, sell those 3 players and bring in Amrabat and make a cheeky bid for Caicedo. I would love that. Osman says, language in youth now. He's like Ferdinand. And Maguire is the only red player I will never miss. Just did not cut it as a genuine Devils player. Thank you very much for that one, Andrea, as well. I think it's good. Like I am agreeing with what you're saying. I think moving both those players on makes a massive difference to Manchester United. And if we can bring in Amrabat, we can bring in, say, a Tobido. Maybe if we go for another player after that, that could be a brilliant, brilliant window. It really could. Pugh is saying Di Maria. Yeah, I don't miss Di Maria either. Like, I know what you mean. Absolutely would not be missing Angel Di Maria. And Osman says Christensen maybe. I don't know. I don't think Christensen's the option. I think Tobido's the guy. I think that's how we're going to be going for it. Let me check as well. I want to see what else is breaking on this, because normally when Laurie Whitwell breaks something, everybody else seems to have other updates at the same time. Not saying too much in terms of the Maguire bid, but it's really important that we get him sold. It really is, guys. West Ham double bid. Getting towards money United would accept, since that West Ham are now tempting Harry Maguire given the game time needed for England. Ten Hag wants to keep McTominay but would sanction the sale. I hope Erik Ten Hag sells him. I really do. I hope that's just a negotiation thing. I don't think Ten Hag sees much in Scott McTominay, that he offers a lot to this team. I really, really don't, guys. We have an update coming in as well on Matej Kovar, so he is set to leave on loan, and that should be done very soon, according to Samuel Luckhurst. Not too bad news there. It really isn't. United doing bits in this market as well. So, look, I think we're starting to shape up the squad. I think the right players are going. I think the right players hopefully will come in. I think it's going to make a big difference to where we're going. Osman's looking at £80 million for both. I don't think we're getting anywhere near that. Epu is saying 3 or 4 players incoming. Stephanie says also the youth need a pathway. Gore and Hannibal, decent game yesterday. Do not to mention Minu. Absolutely. I think clearing a pathway is important. I really do. And especially in those midfield areas. I think if we sell Fred, we sell Donny, we sell McTominay. That's 3 players out. You bring in Amrabat, that's going to help. It's going to make United a better team. That offers up space for Hannibal. It offers up space for Man Utd to make those first team appearances, because the potential and probably the ability right now of Man Utd and Hannibal is above the likes of McTominay and Fred anyway. So I think we got to do that. I really do. Andrew says, I like Ollie as a player. That's that. I mean, yeah, I love Ollie as a player, man. Jeremy says, off topic, but what player element of United's play are we looking forward to most this season? For me, I will go with Garnacho. I'm looking forward to Garnacho. He looks to have more maturity in his game. He looks to be playing really good football. I'm excited to see Licha back in the team. I think Onana's going to make a massive difference. I don't know, guys. It's kind of hard to look past Højlund. The impact of a real striker up front could be massive for this team. Let me see as well. 35 likes. Big ups, guys. Can we get to 40 likes now? Kovar 23 going on loan is bad for him. He should be moved on or be a backup goalkeeper. It's a good point. I think he's getting to that point where he needs to have the regular first team football. We don't want a repeat of the Dean Henderson situation. And that Henderson situation, by the way, that is a prime example in life. This is a life lesson for everybody in the chat. Do not burn your bridges until you're gone. Like, really, because anything can happen. It can go wrong. We thought Forest would have signed Dean Henderson by now. They're going for a completely different goalkeeper. Dean Henderson might be stuck here next season. Let me see. Osman is saying Pellistri deserves Anthony's games. If Garnacho's injured, needs backup. I think Pellistri is going to go on loan to FC20. I'm not complaining. I've been saying for a while, I think first team football for him is going to be the biggest improvement for him. It's going to make him a better player. So I'm not too annoyed about that. It's better than him being here and sitting on the bench or being in the reserves. So I think that's a good option. Paul's saying West Ham playing in Europe, why would he not go? That's a good point, and I think that has to be a selling point to Maguire. They're playing Europa League football. I think that might just benefit their move. It might be swaying his head a little. If he can go and play well in the Europa League, he definitely will be in that England squad. He really will. As well. So drop a like on the video, guys. £60 million. I am running with that money. I really, really am, guys. And as well, keep an eye out for a video dropping this week. Gonna do some Premier League predictions, so everybody can come back and laugh at me in 3 months when everything goes completely wrong. Stephanie says Pellistri, if given the chance, could do a Garnacho. He could. He's got that talent. He's got the ability. I just don't think he's going to be here this season. I think he's going to go on loan. It probably makes most sense for him. Andrew's looking forward to Garnacho on the left, with Rashford playing there as well. Rasmus in the number 9, looking forward to that. Pellistri, he could be a good impact sub. He really could, because we got 5 subs. There should be game time for him. Let's see what's going to happen. Andrew says we are weak in the number 9 position. We are weak in that position. We've only got Rasmus Højlund. I think if we sell Maguire, McTominay, sell Van De Beek and Fred, maybe Erik Bailly, I think we can get 3 players. I think a centre back, I think a midfielder, so Tobido and Amrabat, and hopefully a backup striker could be a big difference. And there's a lot of good players out there. I wouldn't have minded if United went and had a look at Skamaka, because I think he would add something to this team. I wouldn't have minded if United go and say maybe we'll try have a pop at Ivan Toney in the January transfer window. I don't know. Kuda is down there. Why is the share price going up? Let me just check that one as well. Haven't checked that one. There was a lot of interesting trading earlier. So maybe it's something to do with that. Let me just see. Let me see. Stock price. I'll have a check at that as well. Boss going to check it ASAP. Why loan Pellistri when Ahmad is injured? I think that was the plan all along. Ahmad's not going to be out injured for too long. He really shouldn't be. Let me double check. So stock price is actually very, very high at the moment. It's gone up, what, 15% today? So look, I mean, it's happened before. It's been based on rumors. We can see big jumps based on whether the Qataris are winning the race or whatever. Let's keep an eye on it, but I'm not going to take it as as gospel. I'm not going to take it as fact. We're good. We're going to find out on that one. Um, um, am I still lagging, guys? I don't. Let me know if I'm lagging as well down below. It doesn't seem to be lagging. It might just be when I was googling something there. Um, yeah, I think I'm back. I'm back. I was lagging for a second. Ronnie says, who do you think we can pick up on the cheap for a backup striker if Martial leaves? I would have said Taremi. I think they're looking a little bit more for Taremi than what I want to pay. I do still think there's other options out there. Look, we could go and play a Sancho false 9 as the backup. That might be what Erik Ten Hag's thinking. I wouldn't mind going and signing somebody else to come in. Just as the backup striker, as someone with some experience, maybe Taremi if we can work down the price, because he's still a very good player. I don't just want a Veghorst situation where we go and buy a player just for the sake of having one. I think we need somebody to come in who can offer something different. Andrew says experimenting with false 9. Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be how we play throughout the season. I would expect the forward line in that Wolves match to be Garnacho, Rashford, and Anthony. I think that's how we're going to line up. Nabus is saying 40 million for Maguire, 45 for McTominay, and deal done. Let's hope it's I hope we take less, because I don't think West Ham is going to pay that much. Let's hope so. Let's hope we can get both these players sold. It's so important that we do. Really going to help us out in this transfer window, and will make a massive, massive difference to what Manchester United want to do. Hugo does look good, to be fair. It's about the physicality, I think. What is Greg is saying? Garnacho is ready. He's got end product to his game and will make a lot of goals. He'll chip in with a few. He's matured as well. He will. Look, there will be more goals in this team. Rashford, I hope, has another season like last year. Rasmus Højlund is going to bring goals to this team. I think Anthony is going to have a bigger season. I think Bruno Fernandes should be buying as well and should be doing good in this season. Hopefully he gets more goals, because Mount's going to take off some of that creative responsibility. Letting Bruno get forward more might be better as well. I would expect goals from Mount. I think we'll maybe get a couple from Casemiro. Sancho as well, going to be in the squad. Garnacho has to score some more. Let's find out what's going to happen on that one. So Muppeteers coming out. Now, Muppeteers, as we know, they have been exceptionally reliable in this transfer window. So, as Muppeteer says, as we understand it, United and West Ham are not that far apart, at least on the Maguire and potentially on Scott McTominay. United need West Ham to be a little bit flexible in discussions, but at the moment, both teams seem to be open to making a deal happen for both players. Maguire is closer. So they're saying that Maguire is going to be close. I really hope it happens, guys. I seriously do. And it's going to make a massive, massive difference this window. If United can go into this window and into the season with Sofyan Amrabat, Tobido, maybe another striker, that's going to be so much better than keeping Maguire, McTominay, Van De Beek, Fred, and those guys in the squad. Stefan is saying Qatari. Let's find out what happens on that. Stephanie says goals will be spread around this season. I think it will. Andrew says, I say be brave and let the youth play and learn their apprenticeship. I would like to see aspects of that. I would. I think at least every year we want to see one player breaking through from academy to the first team, to be a contributor to the first team. I think this is Kobbie Mainoo's year. Now, look, this injury has disrupted that, but I do still think he can come back and be really, really effective for Manchester United. Andrew says, if West Ham buy our players, they'll look a decent side playing in Europe. But I mean, it's not that these are bad players. Like, they're not, but they're just not Manchester United players. They're West Ham level players. Stephanie says, don't mess it up. I hope we don't. I really, really hope we don't. Drop a like on the video, guys. We're up to 37. Can we get 3 likes and get up to 40 likes? It'll be massively, massively appreciated. Obviously, rocky start to the stream, having to restart. I'm feeling really good on this. I really am. This is the kind of Monday night positivity that we needed. That seal of Harry Maguire. Hopefully, the seal of Scott McTominay is going to be massive for this team. Stefan is feeling very, very Qatarian today as well. It's interesting, guys. It is interesting. If you guys are interested in the stocks sort of stuff, it's up 14.9% today. So obviously, I mean, there's inside information kicking about. Let's wait and see what happens on that one. But in terms of sales, in terms of Manchester United Football Club, not the business, we are looking at sales, and we're looking at Maguire going, we're looking at McTominay going, and it's really, really good. And I'm so happy to be in this position, to be telling you guys this and be sharing this with you as well, because this is something we've been looking forward to for a long, long time. Laurie Whitwell says as well, personal terms are not an issue for Sofyan Amrabat. They are already agreed. It's just getting the money to go to Fiorentina, putting that bid in. That's all we need to do. Anthony says, if we can get the squad depth settled and competing for positions and starter, we are ready to dethrone City. I feel like it might be your one season too early, but I definitely think if we can sell those players, bring in what we need in the last couple of weeks of this window, that's going to be the difference in United competing for top 4 and pushing on, chasing City. Maybe not being as good as City, but certainly being up there. I think we can do it. Stephanie says Youth Cup 2022 winners are forcing themselves into the first team squad. Great to see. Yeah, look, some of those players, very, very impressive. Garnacho, Kobbie Mainoo, Dan Gore, especially, very, very good. At the match yesterday, I was impressed with Alvaro Fernandez as well. I thought he had a very, very good match. Drop a like on the video, guys, and keep voting on the poll. 97 votes, and 97% of you guys are going for Harry Maguire, the most important sale for Manchester United. Very few people are saying we should be selling McTominay first, that he is the priority. I think it comes down to wages. I think it comes down to prices, and I think Maguire has to go. I really do. And it just makes all the sense in the world for him to go. It really, really does. And that's why we always feel skeptical. That's why we always feel worried at Manchester United. Things that should happen tend not to happen. This Maguire sale, it has to happen. £30 million. We are never getting a better offer than that for Harry Maguire. Never, ever. So this is as good as it gets. Take the money and go. Like, seriously, that's what it's coming down to. And as Laurie Whitwell has said, Maguire is said to be more open to the match and more open to the move because he wants that game time. He wants to be in that England squad. European Championships coming up next year. That will be big for him personally. Maguire, he loves playing for England. This is a sale that has to happen. It desperately needs to happen. Greg says, I think Rashford will be talisman again this year. I think he'll have another good output. Maybe not like last season, but another 20 goals this season is likely. I think he can do it. I absolutely do. I think 20 to 25 has to be his target. I think Højlund's going to add 20 goals in all competitions. I think Anthony's got to get up to 15. I think Bruno has to get up to 15. I think Sancho has to clear 10. Garnacho's got to hit 10 goals. Casemiro probably has 5 or 6 goals from headers and set pieces. Mount is going to add some goals. It will be spread out. Let's just hope it's going to be enough. Like, that's my concern. I've no real concerns over the defensive work. It's going to be putting the ball in the back of the net at this point. Stephanie says 3 more likes for 40 likes. Yes, guys, we're up to 37. Can we get up to 40 likes? Would be much appreciated. Anthony says Alvaro Fernandez should stay and compete with Malacia for the backup spot. We are in all competitions, and that will mean more games. It's true. It is true. I think personally he's going to go. There is interest from Burnley. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Andrew says, let's see how many players in total United will sign for the season. 20.25. I think, 20 to 25. Yeah, I mean, Andrew says, in my opinion, Fernandez is better off as 6. Don't think so. Maybe that's Bruno. I don't think so either. Stephanie says Wan-Bissaka over Delo. That's another question as well. So, what do you think? That are you guys team Delo or team Wan-Bissaka? Let me know your thoughts down below, because I don't think either is long-term good enough. I think there's better options out there. We could improve it, but I think this season, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be starting. I do, because Delo just has not been good since the World Cup. He has not been good in the past 7 or 8 months. He really hasn't. His form has fallen off a cliff. His overall performances are really poor. He looks shaky. He looks unconfident, and teams are targeting that right hand side. They do target Diogo Delo, so he needs up his level. He really does. Jeremy's saying Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka over Delo. I think that's a fair comparison. I think we can do better than both, but if we're working with what we have, I think it's got to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I really, really do. I think just the defensive output alone is probably more worthwhile than what Delo brings. Delo might be more pretty on the ball, but that's about it. Like, even on the ball, he doesn't get the assists. He doesn't get the goals. He doesn't get making brilliant opportunities. So I really do think that Wan-Bissaka is a better player at the moment. I really do. Hard Nush from BBC says West Ham have bid £60 million for United pair Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. £20 million for Van De Beek and Fred is another option as well. Andrew says, oh, not Bruno Fernandes, the kid Fernandes. He plays left back, but he could be good in the centre as a 6. He has played centre back. He played centre back at times for Preston North End on loan last season. I mean, maybe that's something he's got in his game. He's a big guy. You know, he has the frame to play it. Stinking, good to see you, man. Good to see you back on the channel. Big ups, man. Stephanie says, need more defensive players if Mount and Bruno play together. Yeah, look, that's going to be a thing. I think we've got to be smart. We've got to be tactical with it. The Bruno and Mount midfield, that's perfect for playing Wolves. I think that's perfect for playing Nottingham Forest. I don't want to turn up to the Emirates, the Etihad and Anfield with that midfield. I want to turn up with Amrabat and Casemiro and probably Bruno ahead of them. That's what I want to see. And maybe we put Mount out wide. Maybe we put Bruno out wide. That's kind of, I think, what we're going to be going for. Is Maguire gone yet? Not yet. Maguire hasn't left Manchester United yet. But by all accounts, the move is getting closer. West Ham's bid is close to being the acceptable amount for United. Maguire is more open to going. So all things are lining up. I think Maguire might have finally got the message that he's not going to get back into this team. Anthony says, did West Ham bid 40 million for Martial? No, he hasn't. Andrew says, yeah, so he has it then. Oh, yeah. I got that. And Norman says, Sal Maguire plays a player of mistakes. Yeah, I mean, the mistakes are bad. They are. It's clumsiness. I just don't think he's athletic enough. I don't think he's got the agility to really play centre back for Manchester United in this system. He can't turn on the ball. He's not great at shifting it. His passing's okay, but it's not the type of passing United need. These long balls forward when we don't have an aerial target. It just doesn't make sense. Stephanie says 40 likes. Thank you. Yes, guys, big ups. 41 likes. Can we get up? Can we get to 50? Can we get to 50 likes by the end of the stream? Anthony says, West Ham bid 40 million for Martial. No. The United says Delo suits Ten Hag's system and adds creativity. I think he's better on ball, but I don't think he does it often enough. I feel like he's got more mistakes in his game. I think we can do better than both. I really, really do. Andrew says, me, I would go with Wan-Bissaka all day. That's what I would say. I think out of players we have, I'm going to take Wan-Bissaka. If we're talking players we could get, I think there's better options out there. I really do. For Manchester United. So 101 votes on the poll, and what have we got? 96% are going. It's more important to sell Maguire over McTominay. Clear favourite. You guys want Maguire sold first. That's the priority for you guys. Has to be priority in my opinion. I would take that. I really would. And I have no issue with that. I really don't. I think it's the right move. Strange update coming in for anyone interesting. Neymar moving to the MLS is hotting up. He wants to leave PSG and PSG wants him to go. Neymar's return to Barcelona is ruled out as impossible in this window. It's a weird one. I don't know why Neymar will go at his age. I really, really don't. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in down below. I'm going to be doing a video as well this week, doing Premier League predictions 1 through 20. So I will get clipped up. I will have rival fans having a go at me, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to bringing it to you guys. I'll probably make the thumbnail tonight, record tomorrow, maybe get it up by Wednesday. That I think is going to be the plan. Thinking is saying we're getting some money coming in. Hopefully so, man, because it's going to mean the difference in a 6 out of 10 window and maybe an 8 out of 10 window. If we sell these guys, bring in Amrabat, Tobido, maybe a striker as well, all of a sudden we're setting 8 or 9 out of 10. In terms of what we could have achieved this window with the Glazer family still being here, I think if we do all that, we'll have done very, very well for ourselves. I really do. Charlie's saying, if McTominay, Maguire, Fred and Donny all leave, we will have removed around 2 million from wages a week. That means we can afford getting Mbappe on loan. I mean, maybe that's what we go for. That could be a fun one. Andrew says, let's face it, both Delo and Wan-Bissaka not the deadliest right backs, but we have them from young and put a lot into them, so we're expecting a payback with the shortfalls on both. Yes, a good point there. Anthony's asking what's the use with Chimene and Link. Do you think we can land him? I don't think so. I think he's going to be at Madrid for a long time. I don't see him leaving. I think if we're going to sign him, we would have got him last year. We went for Casemiro instead. Not a bad transfer, but it's not the long-term option. But I don't think we get too many. I really don't. I think that, like, genuinely, if we were to go after any midfielder from Real Madrid, most realistic to signing might be Camavinga. And not that there's any links, not that I've heard anything or that I think anything might happen, but I think purely on the fact that he doesn't really play midfield for them, that he's playing left back, maybe he's the most achievable to get there. I don't know. I don't think we sign any Madrid midfielders in this window. So 105 votes, 97% are going for Maguire. Andrew says Madrid will not sell. No, they won't sell. They won't. I wouldn't rule them out in making a big sale if they want to try afford Mbappe. Like, I mean, maybe that's a potential, but I don't know. Like, I really don't. Beyond that, I don't think. I wouldn't expect to see anything happening on that front. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think I'm happy enough for that. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in. Any questions as well, let me know. What's this here? United. Nah, someone's saying United want 85 million for McTominay and Maguire. Not believing that for a minute. Madrid is just buy our players. Yeah, I mean, look, Madrid like to come and buy our players when they're young, and then they look to sell us their players whenever they're getting past it or getting on in age. For anyone else interested in the stock price, if you guys think it might be an indication for any takeovers and stuff, someone has just pointed out as well that the stock price is going up 15% today. Some interesting stock calls for September that might spike some interest. That's about it. I mean, it's very confusing. I wouldn't read too much into it. Pashok is saying we need Mbappe. I mean, I would never turn down Kylian Mbappe. You're looking at one of the best players in world football. I would never turn that down. Like, I seriously wouldn't. And I think you make allowances for that. Mbappe would bring us a treble. If he does, build him a statue. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I think I seen someone earlier, if we clear 2 million a week in wages, we can loan Mbappe for a season. I don't know, like, we'll find out what happens. Stephanie's down there with another one. It's been a slow old transfer process again. Fingers crossed we get these outgoings for decent money, get Amrabat and a special signing before the window shuts. Yep, I think that's the best we can hope for. In terms of what we could have done in a Glazer transfer window, I think this is, if we can do all this, I think that's genuinely going to be as good as possible. I really do. Sinkin says if we get Amrabat and a centre back, I think we'll be good to it'll be okay to go next summer's transfer window and sell players like Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we can. I think we'll have the fundamentals in place in this window. I think next year we clear out players who are just not good enough, bring in the star quality that's going to make us go from being a team that can win a title, that can push for a title, to a team that's going to be right up there fighting for it. Stephanie says 44 likes. Yes, guys, big ups to yourself as well. The Monday streams are always quieter anyway, so thank you so much for 44 likes. Can we get up to 50 likes? I'll stay on for like another 10 minutes anyway. So if 6 people can like the video, it will make Stephanie very happy in the chat. Make me very happy as well. So big ups as well. If you guys are new as well, please consider hitting that sub button. And we have going to be working on a video this week, going to do some Premier League predictions, going to do another one on things to look out for United as well in this one, looking at who's going to shine for United, what young players are coming through, what the team needs to do, and what we can expect from these players. I'm looking forward to doing those videos, so watch out for them going. Bashak is saying Mbappe. I mean, look, everybody wants Kylian Mbappe. This is going to be a fun week, guys. It really is. The seals will be done this week. Maguire, hopefully. McTominay, maybe. Van De Beek, yes. Fred, yes. Erik Bailly, yes. We might have movement on Amrabat. We might have movement on Tobido. We play our first Premier League match in 1 week's time. So this is going to be a big week for Manchester United. Big week for the channel. Make sure you guys are staying tuned. Let me just double check as well. Want to see if anything else is dropping. Just sometimes things come out 8:30 or 9 p.m. that you always get little slithers and news coming out. I don't know why. Let me see. I can see some stuff is posting here. Yeah, so like I said, guys, you always get a little slither around this time. Andrew says would like to say Armand Bissaka could play centre back in a few games like Shaw, see how he performs. Don't think he's good enough in the ball. John says shouldn't have mentioned Mbappe, and look, we could afford him. Yep, the chat want Mbappe. So here's one as well for you guys. Coming in from the Times. So it is understood that the offer is short of United's valuation. United would accept an offer that's in the region of 40 to 45 million for McTominay and 35 million for Maguire. So the Maguire one's closer. The Maguire one is getting closer. I do agree that maybe the McTominay one's slightly unrealistic. We'll find out, but they're around about 10 to 15 million pounds off on Scott McTominay. They're only 5 million pounds off on Harry Maguire. So that's good. That is good. Andrew says we can buy him, but Mbappe's salary is madness. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Norman says Maguire's own goal neutralised the support. I mean, it hasn't been helpful. Stephanie says transfer merry-go-round will be revolving very fast this week. Of course it will. And United just love being in these situations. We really do. Positive update coming in as well. So this is good news, in my opinion. So West Ham's bids for McTominay and Maguire are separate. They do not depend on each other. That means that if the McTominay bid doesn't go through, Maguire can still go. It's not dependent. They're not linked. They're not joined at the hip. It is separate bids. So they've sent in 2 bids for 2 Manchester United players, completely independent. That's nothing but good news. It really is, because my concern would be United turning down the McTominay one, and then Maguire couldn't go. So if they're separate, that's nothing but good news. Sinkin says, I think United will hold out for 40 and sell Maguire for 30. I think they're going to go, I think they're trying to push up to 35. It's only a £5 million gap. It's not a lot. Maybe they meet in the middle, 32 million. That could be done deal territory. Stephanie says 70 million for both. Shake hands quick. Yeah, I mean, shake hands at the same time, both hands, and run out that door, and do not let any of them kick a ball for West Ham before money has been paid, in my opinion. Let me see as well. Want to see if anything else is coming out. West Ham, the bid for McTominay has been rejected. So that is £30 million for McTominay, rejected by Manchester United. So they're a long way off of McTominay. They're a long way off on that deal. They're close on the Maguire one. That was what Muppeteers had said around about 35 minutes ago. So I'm happy enough for that. I mean, I think it's more important we sell Harry Maguire. I really do. Greg says, if we get Amrabat, have a good start to the season, have new owners in by November, maybe we could have a strong January window, win a major trophy, and improve the league position. I think that's realistic. I do. And I think if the Qataris come in, they'll want to buy someone big in January. I believe if they come in and pay the debt off, United would have an extra piece of budget of around 50 million. And obviously they can invest their own money. If it's Radcliffe, depending on what he does with the debt, he probably want to spend some money as well. So United could see themselves in for a busy January transfer window. It's something we don't often see. Normally the Glazers don't like spending money. The only players I can think of signing in January would probably be Bruno Fernandes for actual cash. If anybody can remember another one, let me know on that one. But the Maguire one, it's looking far more likely. It really is. They're 2 separate bids. That's very positive. West Ham seem confident that their bid would be accepted. I mean, it's clearly not. That confidence was misplaced, but Sinkin says we should jump at 70 million for both players. Absolutely, we should. We really should. Snap their hands off it, run to the airport, drive him to the airport. I'm just trying to see if anything else is coming out. Luckhurst is saying West Ham have had a £30 million bid for McTominay rejected. The offers are not a joint bid, and it is possible West Ham will make a separate bid again for Harry Maguire. They are still in talks. So looking positive, guys. It's looking good for selling Maguire. Maybe not on McTominay at the moment, but that could change. Drop a like on the video. As Stephanie says, we're up to 45 likes. Can we get to 50? We need 5 likes. Would be very much appreciated, guys. And if you guys haven't already, please consider hitting the sub button. Fantastic community on this channel. Every single video, you guys are absolutely incredible. So thanks so much for all the support. Sinkin says we already made a 25 million from selling fringe players and academy players. Let's add some more money to that. Let's get Maguire sold. Let's get Scott McTominay sold. That will be very good for this football club. That will be good for the transfer window and very good as to what we can achieve going forward in the rest of this season. So guys, with that in mind, I'm going to end this stream here. Thank you so much for joining in. Not once, but twice. We did have the issues earlier, so big up to yourselves, guys. On the poll, 96% went for McTominay, more important to sell. Sorry, Maguire more important to sell. I can't even read anymore. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining in. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that sub button. I'll just do these comments first here, actually. Sinkin says you got my like. Big ups. Thank you, man. Pashok says need to watch the past players from the Fergie, largely Ramazani could be a perspective for the future. Yeah, largely Ramazan, he might be. Andrew says Erik Ten Hag plays to win. If you ask him what his best season would be, he would say United play for all trophies to win. And where we end up is United boys and how we adapt to the philosophy. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. So thanks so much for joining in, guys. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, 7:30 p.m. Hopefully, we have Maguire transfer news as well for you guys. All right, guys, have a good Tuesday. Whatever you guys are doing, enjoy the rest of your Monday as well. Thanks so much for joining in. And that is me signing out. Thank you guys very, very much.